So, what kind of categories of wealthy men you can find in France? Well, there's a different type. There's different types of categories of rich, easy, or wealthy men that you can find in France. I think that the best way is to avoid the wealthy, the ultra wealthy. First of all, because there's not many of them, and second, because they're already married. They're already married and they will prefer, especially if they're white, they will prefer to be with white people. Just look at the Louis Vuitton family. What's his name again? I forgot about his name. Bernard Arnault, the Arnault family, just look at them. They're only with non-black people and stuff. So I suggest you should avoid the ultra wealthy. What will be interesting would be the easy class. So those who have easy access to money and they're above the whole population. It's like the 8% of in France. They're like one of the richest segment of the population. So usually they're like doctors, lawyers, CEOs of some companies. They often work in tech, finance, in medicine. Their salary, sometimes it varies between like 10,000 euros per month to like, it can go up to like sometimes 40,000 euros. Like, I think that's the type of person you should target. To be honest, you can find them mostly in Paris because they will work like in the headquarters of the companies, and all of the headquarters are usually in the biggest cities of France. Like, you need to know how France works. I'm going to tell you how France works. Actually, the power like is concentrated in Paris, in precisely in the Île-de-France region. Like, France, it's like the power, the money and stuff is concentrated around Paris and in Paris, and around the whole country. There's only like there's literally nothing. There's something called Diagonale du Vide. It's like in the middle of France. It's quite void. Like, there's nothing. There's like mountains and I don't know, like just the countryside and some roosters or something. I don't know. All right, so you need to know something. Like, France is not the US. Most of the people, they're poor. Like, I've looked at the statistics, and like the black community in the US earns around like $3,000 minimum per house. And in France, $3,000, like 3,000 euros, is like the start of the 8% of these people that I'm talking about. So like, you need to understand that it's like France is very poor. So yeah. So if you want to try to date a guy that has money, easy access to money, you need to know that, first of all, you cannot compare the salaries in France and the salaries in the US. You need to know something, in Europe and in the whole world, countries that are are of Protestant descent, they tend to be like wealthier than countries that are like from Catholic descent. Countries that are from Catholic descent is like France, Spain, Portugal, Italy. You see these countries, like, they're very like Spain, Portugal, Italy. They're poor. They've been poor for a very long time. So despite the fact that they are in Europe, so you need to understand how the world works and the history of things so that you can better understand the dynamics of what's happening. So yeah, that's the type of people that I would advise you to date. Especially men, the men that works in cabinets, like consulting cabinets, lawyer cabinets. They are the best. And concerning medicine, I would go for the doctors that have a specificity, like a cardiologist, something like that, a dermatologist, a dentist. Those people, they make big money in France. So yeah, so if you need any more precision, please don't don't hesitate to ask in the comments, and I will maybe make another video on that topic. So thank you so much, ladies, for listening to me, and bye-bye.